Okay, so talking to DeAnna Bennett, she is going to be fighting at Invicta FC 28 later this month. DeAnna, thanks so much. And first question I wanted to ask, you're back at strawweight for this card, I believe, and you've bounced around a little bit over the years. What's the reason for going back to strawweight for this one?
Actually, I'm staying at flyweight. I had a nice little talk after my last little attempt at strawweight when I was a pound over, and it was actually very quick in passing. Shannon just came up to me and was like, "So you're a flyweight, right?" And I was like, "Yep, I'm a flyweight." And for the sake of everyone and for trying to bite people when I'm hungry, I'm gonna stay at flyweight.
Oh, all right. So in that case, the info we got was definitely not right, but that's that's good to get that out of the way. So you're fighting Karina Rodriguez. I had a chance to catch her back in December at Invicta 26. Have you had a chance to see a lot of her, and what are you expecting from her come the fight?
Yeah, I always watch all the Invicta fights. They put on such a good show every single time. I always make sure to tune in and watch kind of the up and comers and everything. And so I've actually seen her last couple of fights, and it's definitely going to be a test to me because she's a tough fighter. She pressures. She has slick combinations, real quick hands. Everything that you would expect coming out of that Lobo gym there in Mexico, with the partners that she has there. And so I'm expecting a knockdown, drag out fight. Honestly, you know, obviously she's going to come and try and punch me, and I'm going to try and do the same, and we're going to see what happens from there. But it's going to be aggressive, and it's going to be entertaining. We'll put it that way.
All right, well, definitely looking forward to that. Now, this is going down on the 24th in Utah, and if I'm not mistaken, you're living out there. How excited are you to be fighting in Salt Lake City?
Oh man, it's like a dream come true. I never thought I would say it, but the last couple of years I've really missed fighting in Utah. Utah is my fighting home. I'm originally from California, but I started fighting in Utah. That's my fighting home. That's where I grew up and had my amateur fights and started my pro career. And so the opportunity that I get to be on this card for Invicta, in my fighting hometown is amazing. I have even more excitement for this fight than I have for one in a really long time, just because I do get the opportunity again to fight in front of my friends and my family and all my former teammates and everything. And so I'm really excited for that.
Now, when I talk to some fighters, they tell me once that cage door closes, they tune out the crowd, they don't hear it. But if you've got your friends and your supporters there, is that a factor? Do you hear them?
Um, yeah, I don't really hear them too much. I don't know if that's just selective or if it's I really got too much cauliflower ear built up these days. I don't really hear much of anything. But I remember clear as day the last time that I fought in Utah. My very last fight there was Colleen Schneider, and I was super nervous for that fight. And I remember getting into the cage, doing my little warm up thing, and not even trying to look out into the crowd, but I kind of looked up and I saw a table full of my coworkers at the time and some of my teammates and everything. And seeing them there, it gave me even more motivation. Honestly, I couldn't hear them for the life of me. Every once in a while, you hear somebody, but that one, um, just seeing them there, that they were there to support me and super happy to be there and excited to watch the fight, it gives me even more fuel. And every once in a while, I hear somebody in the crowd. And in fact, my last fight with Melinda, I remember I was against, of course, pushing her against the cage because that's what I did, 90% of the fight. But I was really out of it still after that head kick in the first round, and it was Maia actually. She helped me snap back into it because I heard her like, "DeAnna, pull your head out of your ass," and I was like, "What, Maia? Oh, I'm gonna fight still. I probably should do something about that." So sometimes it's a good thing to hear the crowd.
I like that. I like May as well. I actually spoke to her not too long ago, but yeah, that's. I was gonna touch on that fight a little with Fabian because it wound up in a draw. It took a little bit of criticism, I think. Were you surprised at all that the UFC let you go after that one, or was it a case where they came to you and said, "Get a few wins back in Invicta, and we'll give you another shot"?
I was concerned that they were going to cut me after that, and I remember talking to somebody, and they're like, "No, no, we talked to them. You're okay." And then hearing that I was okay, and then the next thing, no, a couple days later, I'm like, "So you're gonna be cut?" And I was like, "Well, obviously it sucks, and I wouldn't say I'm bitter about it, but it definitely tore into my heart a little bit. But I don't blame them. That performance, wasn't my best. I'm my number one worst critic, which is horrible if you think about all the things that got said about that last fight. In fact, I think I didn't find, somebody tagged me in a Facebook post where it was like 30 people just basically calling me fat. And I was like, all right, well, leave it to the internet trolls to make me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. Like, thanks, guys. But I wasn't 100% for that fight, and that wasn't on being hurt or anything. I such a whirlwind experience coming off of the show, and then I actually drove across the country and was training in Jersey and just kind of acclimating to that. And I'm one of those people that needs to have order. I need to have my schedule in place, and I like to have that organization. And when I do that, that's where I thrive when it comes to work or training or anything like that. And so, I don't blame the UFC for cutting me after that one, especially all those boos in the crowd. Apparently, the building was full of ghosts, but what are you gonna do?
I gotta say, I love your sense of humor about it. And please don't listen to the internet trolls. The internet's pretty much like everyone's had 5 drinks and has no filter and says the worst thing they can think of. So, um,
I know they're so mean. I'm like, guys, I would never say. How dare you? Like, never in a million years could I ever say the mean things. And I remember one of them. One of my favorite ones was like, this bitch needs to lay off the cheeseburgers. And I'm like, I'm lactose intolerant and gluten intolerant. I can't even have a cheeseburger if I wanted to. Like, that's eating carrots body. Like, damn, guys. Like, I'm sorry. But most of the time it doesn't bother me too much. People it cut a little bit. It was a combination of that and getting cut and everything. But for the most part, it's fine. I mean, like I said, I probably say worse things about myself, so I won't listen to them, I promise.
Now you've landed on your feet in Invicta, and Invicta's been doing some awesome stuff. Obviously, exclusively on Fight Pass. They're going out on the road. It sounds like a little more this year. Are you kind of excited to be in there? Because it really seems like this might be Invicta's year, so to speak.
Oh yeah, definitely. Like I said, I've always loved being part of Invicta in the past and fighting for them. And so the fact that they scooped me right up the day I got the call that I was released from the UFC. I talked to Shannon that day, and that's just how great they are. And they really do have big things going for them. And the fact that they're willing to put up with me and bring me back and be able to fight for them. I'm excited. I've been training hard and getting weirder by the day, and so we had some fun conversations with the Invictus staff, and they're probably like, about that. I don't know what she's gonna bring, but I'm excited to see what this year does for them and does for me.
Getting weirder by the day. I'm almost afraid to ask for an example of that.
As you should, as you should. Yeah, basically, how they do like the promo videos before every fight.
Yeah.
They're talking about your opponent and everything. Basically, you're on there for like 2 minutes. Mine takes like 20 minutes because I get off topic. I start talking about other things. I say inappropriate things that they can't use. I talk with my hands. I don't even know how we got there. At one point, we're talking about something, and the poor guy doing the interview was horrified because bacon-covered penises came up, and somehow I our conversation went to that, and I'm gonna leave it right with that.
Well, you know what? That makes for a little bit of a change of pace. So I wouldn't mind that in a promo, actually.
Well, there you go. See, you never know what's gonna pop out of my crazy mouth. So the conversations that I have, like I said, it's for a 2-minute clip. It usually takes them 20 minutes plus to wrangle my crazy person self in.
Now, I'm kind of curious because I saw you on Tough 26, and obviously that was a heck of a season, a crowned a champion. You won in the opening round, lost in the quarterfinals to Sijara, but overall, what did you take away from that experience? Did you enjoy it? Would you do it again?
Oh my gosh! If they didn't kick me out the last day, I never would have left. It was the best. You know, I all I've ever wanted to do is fight. You know, that's my passion. That's what I love to do. And so the fact that I got to live in a mansion, granted it was like white collar prison because you couldn't leave anywhere. Like, yeah, it's a mansion, but they trap you in and you can't go anywhere. So I'm like Martha Stewart experience kind of prison. But it was great just getting top of the line training, opening my eyes to different methods, and you have all these girls from different camps all across the world, and the opportunity to train with the best out there was awesome, and it's definitely not an experience I would take back. And it was a good time for personal reflection too, because we couldn't listen to music, so I had a lot of internal talks with myself. And every morning I'd get up and go for my run like 20, 30 minutes, something around there, just to wake up. And so instead of listening to Joe Rogan podcast or listening to music, I'm like, all right, DeAnna, let's talk to you about your life. And I was like, oh gosh. But it was good to get some reflection and to be there. And, I met some really awesome people on the show. And hey, if they ever did like a female redemption season, they can call me up because I will gladly do it.
I just want to clarify one thing. You said you couldn't listen to music. Is that a rule they had for the production?
Yeah, because they didn't have the license to the music, so we couldn't listen to music when we were there because the whole production or anything. So it was a lot of silent time or singing to ourselves. And I remember there was one day where I was singing some beautiful songs to Barb as she was sitting outside, and they're like, DeAnna, can you not sing popular songs because we can't use that? And I'm like, well, I'm not really good at making up my own songs, so probably not. We're just not going to be able to use it. Sorry, guys.
That's I never thought of that, but that is kind of a downer. That having been said, I'm glad you enjoyed it because I've heard different things from different people. Although, like I said, I talked to my she seemed to have a positive experience, so I'm glad you did as well. The one other thing I wanted to ask you though, losing to Sijara, she eventually went to the final, couldn't make the fight because of the weight issue. But does losing to her, given that she went all the way, take any of the sting off of that?
A little bit. Obviously, it sucks. My goal was to go in there and to win, and it was good to see her get in there and be able to get into the finals. Not just because she was the one that beat me and took me out. She's a really good friend of mine too. Like to this day, I trained with her this morning actually out here in New Jersey, and I it was good to see her be able to go there, and obviously it kind of helps your mental frame to think, okay, well this person beat me and they made it to the end. It helps. Maybe I'm not a complete piece of crap or something like that. And yeah, I mean, the fight was going well for me at that one until the head kick that came out of nowhere, and I couldn't keep my right hand up. So, I mean, it was, like I said, learning experience, and I just knew that whoever won out of, even before the fight, I said it right then and there, like, whoever wins out of me and Sarge, obviously I want to win, but if she wins, we're going to the final, whichever one of us wins. And we did, and I'm, sad the way it didn't turn out for me, but happy that it didn't turn out for her.
All right, now that experience is another one kind of in a checklist. When I look at your career, I mean, you almost fly under the radar. You beat Juliana Pena. The next thing she does, she goes out and wins her tough season. You beat Jennifer Maia, who winds up flyweight champion in Invicta. You fight Roxy. You fight Souza. How much of an impact do some of these big fights? How much have they had on your development as a fighter?
It helped me out a ton. I fought Juliana Pena my second pro fight. I've never shied away from fighting, tough people, and in fact, I think I do better when I fight somebody who scares me a little bit. If I know that they're tough and I know I'm going to have to putting everything out there, it helps my mind frame going into a fight. And I fought strikers, I fought wrestlers, um, just kind of good looks with everybody, and just seeing where some of the people that I fought have gone is great. It's a sport. I'm glad that they made it that far, and it just helps me out. I know that I can get up there to the top again. Things kind of hit a little rough patch there for a second, but you have to take everything from each fight, win or lose. Every fight is also a learning experience as to what to bring to the next one, and so I've taken a lot from the different fights, and that's why I'm really excited for this one coming up in a few weeks, because I've had a lot of time for reflection. I've had a lot of hard hours in the gym, and it's going to be a good performance. I feel it.
All right. And I was going to ask. I know not everyone likes to do this. I almost always ask it though. Do you have a prediction for the fight?
I know that's a terrible question.
It is.
um, the I'm gonna take the cop out answer. And like the only prediction I have is that I'm gonna get my hand raised in the end, and not like last time when both of our hands got raised. Because I'm like, yay, my hand gets raised. Oh wait, hers did too. Oh crap. About that. Um, but I've been working hard, and I hope to surprise some people who, some of them online trolls who called me trash and said I was awful. I hope to surprise some people, and I'm not doing it for them. Obviously, I'm doing it for myself because I love the sport, but I'm excited to put on a good performance. I've been doing everything that I need to do, and excited to get back into that Invicta cage, and it's going to be a good one.
Hey, just visualize the trolls when you work the heavy bag.
Yes, I will. Definitely not when I'm with my training partners who are like, why are you trying to kill me? This person called me fat. Actually, it was just this person. It was like millions of people, and I'm like, dang, guys, like, unrelenting. Like, gosh. God, I would almost rather you tell me that, like, my fighting skills suck. Like, you went to the low blow on that one. Like, I mean, I don't know. I thought I was just trying to market myself as the female big country, but apparently there's not a niche for female big country. So I decided to not shave my hair into a mullet. We're working on the gut. We will get there.
Okay, I think you're officially the first person to have ever had me crack up in an interview. So congratulations for what that's worth. I might actually pay to see a female big country. I don't know if you got the knockout power.
I know. That's the thing. It's like I got to work on the knockout power. And like that's what I've got the wrestling base, so there's that. So just work on them. That knockout power, and I'm like, there you go. And the big country comment actually came because Barb Pontiac has like the perfect abs always, and she's just like, well, yeah, but then I rehydrate and then it kind of puffs out, and I'm like, you still have abs though. It's just like Chuck Liddell abs, like, yeah, it puffs out a little bit, but you still have abs. I'm like, you've got Chuck Liddell abs, I've got big country abs, and so she's the Chuck Liddell to my big country, and I love it.
Uh, Everyone's got abs. You just can't always see them. All right, I got one more for you, and that is looking forward to 2018. What is the goal for DeAnna Bennett?
The goal is to go in there, work hard, and to put on some good performances. I'm there in Invicta. The belt for Invicta is vacant. So I'm not looking past this fight. You got to take one fight at a time, but set the goals. I'm going to go win this tournaments, go for the next one. If they happen to give me a shot at the belt next, that'd be great. You know, something to cover up those big country abs that I'm working on. So I want to get to the top. I want to do the best that I can. You know, I feel better than I have in a really long time, and I'm excited to go out there and to show it to everybody and to get back to, you know, winning and get back to the top.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to it. March 24th, Invicta FC 28, Salt Lake City. Hey, thanks again for doing this. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you so much for listening to me babble.
I enjoyed it. Have a good one.